Betrayal from a friend is a unique and devastating pain. It's not the blow itself that hurts most, but the hand that delivers it. Enemies are expected to harm you, they exist outside your circle of trust, so their attacks are something you can see coming and prepare for. Betrayal, however, comes from within. It shatters the illusion of safety and loyalty, leaving you vulnerable and questioning everything you thought you knew. The hardest part of betrayal isn't the act itself. It's the realization that you never saw it coming. You trusted them. You laughed with them. You shared your dreams, your fears, your victories, your failures. You let them see behind the curtain, the version of you that the world never gets to touch. You gave them access to your inner circle, a seat at the table of your heart. And they took that access, and turned it into a weapon. The knife they drove into your back wasn't just sharp, it was sharpened with your own secrets, your own kindness, your own blind trust. That's why betrayal feels like the earth itself cracking beneath your feet. You don't just lose a friend, you lose your sense of safety. You begin to question everything. Was any of it real? Did they ever truly care? How long were they faking? It's a mental torture chamber that loops endlessly, because betrayal doesn't just destroy trust in them, it begins to corrode trust in yourself. How did I not see it? Why was I so blind? Am I too naive? Too soft? Too open? That's the second wound, the self-doubt. Because if you didn't see the snake before, how do you know you'll spot the next one? But here's the truth, snakes are masters of camouflage. They study you. They mirror you. They blend in until you stop questioning. That's their power. And if you've ever been bitten, it's not because you were weak, it's because you were human. And yet, once bitten, you're never the same. You carry the venom of betrayal inside you like a scar. At first, it burns. Later, it hardens. Eventually, it becomes a kind of armor. Because as much as betrayal hurts, it also awakens. It teaches you that not every smile is honest. Not every hug is warm. Not every cheer is genuine. It shows you that love and loyalty are not words, they are actions, proven over time. It forces you to sharpen your perception, to listen not just to words but to silences, not just to praise but to tone, not just to laughter but to the shadow behind it. And once you learn this, you begin to see the world differently. You begin to see people differently. That friend who always has a subtle insult tucked inside a compliment. That supporter who claps when you fall harder than when you rise. That confidant who suddenly grows quiet when you share good news. They reveal themselves in whispers, in small cracks, in fleeting glances. You just never noticed before. The snake was always there. You just hadn't heard the hiss yet. And when it finally strikes, the pain is unforgettable. But so is the clarity. Because betrayal is not just an ending, it's an unveiling. The moment you see the snake for what it truly is, you can never unsee it. And that, as painful as it may be, is a gift. They say betrayal never comes from your enemies. And they're right. It comes from the friend who held your hand. The one who laughed with you, broke bread with you, and knew your secrets. The one you trusted so completely, you never thought to guard your back, because you assumed they were standing there to protect you. That's why the cut is so deep. When a stranger hurts you, it's a wound. When a friend hurts you, it's a fracture. It shatters the very foundation of trust, making you question every memory, every laugh, every moment you believed was real. You start to replay it all, wondering, was it all a performance? A carefully constructed mask to hide the envy growing in the shadows? Here's the harsh truth most people won't admit, some of your friends were never your friends at all. They were snakes in the grass. They cheered for you only when you were beneath them. They smiled at your victories only when your success didn't threaten their own. But the moment you started to rise, the moment your light began to shine a little too brightly, their mask slipped. Their support became silence. Their jokes became jabs. Their warmth turned cold. Not because you wronged them. Not because you changed. But because your very existence became a mirror, reflecting everything they were not. And the cruelest part? They don't strike when you're armored up. They wait. They wait until you're most vulnerable, when you've opened up, shared your dreams, and trusted them with pieces of your soul. That's when they sink their fangs in. You never see it coming. But you'll never forget it happened. This is the anatomy of betrayal. It's the scar that runs deeper than any hatred. It's the mask ripped away to reveal the serpent beneath. But this isn't just about the pain. It's about the awakening. Because once you see the snake for what it is, you can never be fooled the same way again. Your vision becomes clearer. Your intuition becomes sharper. You learn to trust actions, not words. You learn that loyalty is proven in the storm, not promised in the sunshine. This pain will rewire you. It will break your heart open, but it will also make it smarter. It teaches you the most valuable lesson: to protect your peace, to guard your energy, and to never make a home for anyone whose loyalty is conditional. The betrayal wasn't your fault. But your healing is your responsibility. Rise from the ashes with discernment. Let the wound become wisdom. And never let a snake make you afraid of the grass. Let the bitterness harden into boundaries. Let the distrust evolve into discernment. This is where you rebuild. Not with thicker walls, but with smarter gates. You learn to let people earn your trust, not just be granted it by proximity. You start to hear the silence between their words, to see the subtle shift in their energy when you share your joy. You begin to recognize the signs you once ignored. The backhanded compliment that's dressed as a joke. The hesitation in their celebration. The way they recount your story to make themselves the hero. The gut feeling that something is off, a feeling you now vow to never silence again. This is your armor now, not cynicism, but clarity. You don't stop being kind, you start being selective. You understand that not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. Some belong in the audience. Some need to be handed their coat and shown the door. Your circle may get smaller, but it will undeniably become stronger. You will attract those who are not threatened by your light, but are magnetized by it. Those who understand that another's victory doesn't diminish their own, but paves the way. The betrayal was their lesson in cruelty. Your recovery is your lesson in power. You realize that the ultimate revenge is not hatred. It is indifference. It is a life lived so well, so fully, and so authentically that their betrayal becomes nothing more than a footnote in your story of resilience. It is the profound peace that comes from knowing they no longer hold any space in your heart or your head. So let them have their bitterness. You take the wisdom. You are no longer the person who was blindsided. You are the one who survived. You are the one who learned to see in the dark. And that is a power no one can ever take from you. This awakening forces a choice. You can let the wound fester, allowing it to poison your future connections. Or you can perform the most radical act of all, you can choose to alchemize their betrayal into your own unwavering self-trust. This is not about forgetting. It is about reclaiming the narrative. You reclaim the memories they poisoned. That late-night conversation. It was real for you. Your laughter was genuine. Your trust was a testament to your capacity for love, not a flaw in your judgment. Do not let their falseness retroactively taint your authenticity. Your heart was not wrong for being open, their heart was wrong for being closed. You begin to rewrite the story. It is no longer about the day they betrayed you. It becomes about the day you decided you were done bleeding over someone who chose to wield a knife. You stop asking, why did they do it, and start asking, what does this make available to me? It makes available a fierce protection of your energy. A deep, non-negotiable respect for your own peace. You learn the difference between being alone and being lonely, and you discover that your own company is far superior to the presence of anyone who requires you to dim your light. You become a curator of your own life, carefully selecting who earns the right to join your inner sanctum. The price of admission is no longer just familiarity or time, it is character, integrity, and a proven capacity for loyalty. And in this new space you've built, you find a different kind of strength. The kind that doesn't come from never being broken, but from knowing, with unshakable certainty, that you possess the tools to put yourself back together again, each time more formidable than the last. You realize the snake did not break you. It revealed you. It revealed a core of resilience you never knew you had. It forced a version of you to the surface that is too discerning to be deceived, too wise to be manipulated, and too valuable to be mistreated ever again. And so, you step into a new season. One defined not by the hurt they inflicted, but by the sovereignty you've claimed. You no longer seek revenge, because you recognize that a life lived well is the quietest, most powerful rebuttal. Your success, your genuine joy, your unshakable peace, these are not for them. They are the proof of your own evolution, the evidence that you passed through the fire and did not burn, you were forged. You understand now that some people are placed in your path not as forever companions, but as lessons wrapped in skin. Their purpose was not to stay, but to teach you how to guard your spirit, how to honor your intuition, and how to recognize the difference between a pillar of support and a wolf in sheep's clothing. The world will continue to have snakes. This is a fact. But you are no longer walking through the grass unaware. You have learned to sense the shift in the air, to hear the faintest hiss, to feel the vibration of disingenuous energy. You carry this knowledge not as a burden, but as a shield. And the most profound transformation is this: your capacity for love does not shrink, it refines. It becomes more intentional, more powerful, and more precious because it is no longer given freely, but earned wisely. You love from a place of strength, not need. You offer your hand, but you never hand over your sword. The betrayal, then, becomes the gift you never wanted but ultimately needed. It was the brutal, necessary curriculum that taught you the most vital subjects: self-respect, discernment, and the unassailable truth that your worth was never, and will never be, defined by someone else's inability to see it. The alchemy of the soul, from betrayal to unshakable freedom. You are whole. This statement is not a platitude, it is a declaration of fact, rediscovered in the quiet aftermath of the storm. The lie of betrayal is that it fragments you, that it takes something essential from your core and leaves you less than you were. But you are now learning the magnificent truth: it only ever stripped away the illusions you had mistaken for parts of yourself, the illusion that your security was held in another's hands, that your worth was reflected in their loyalty, that your narrative required their character to be noble. You are discovering that your wholeness was there all along, buried under layers of dependency and expectation. It is a self-contained, self-sustaining unity. You lack nothing. You are complete, not in spite of the wound, but because the healing of it revealed the incredible resilience and resources that were within you all along. You are awake. The sleep is over. The gentle, comforting slumber of unquestioning trust has been shattered, and in its place is a vibrant, sometimes startling, clarity. You are awake to the subtle languages of human energy, the micro-expressions that flicker across a face, the slight hesitation in a voice that says one thing while meaning another, the silent, cold space that grows between words when envy is present. This awakening is not a curse, it is a superpower. Before, you navigated the world with a map that was missing entire territories of human darkness. Now, your map is complete. You know where the treacherous cliffs are, and this knowledge does not prevent you from enjoying the journey, it allows you to travel without fear of falling. You are awake to your own intuition, that inner voice you once dismissed as paranoia, now recognized as your most trusted advisor. You are awake to the profound difference between those who offer love as a gift and those who offer it as a transaction. You are free. This is the greatest liberation, freedom from the need for their validation, their explanation, or their apology. You are untethered from the anchor of their opinion. The story they wrote for you, the one where you were the victim, the fool, the one who was less than, no longer binds you. You have authored a new edition. You are free from the exhausting labor of replaying the past, trying to stitch together a narrative that makes sense of the senseless. You have laid down that burden. The energy you once spent on deciphering their motives, on nursing the hurt, is now reclaimed. It is energy you can pour into your passions, your growth, your future. This freedom is a vast, open sky, and you are finally soaring in it. And so you stand there, on the other side of the wound. The scar is no longer a mark of pain, but a testament to your healing. It is a living monument to the battle you fought and won within yourself. To look at it is not to remember the cut of the knife, but to remember the incredible strength it took to stitch yourself back together. Every scar tells a story of survival, and yours speaks of a victory over one of life's most profound emotional challenges. It is a reminder that while you cannot control the actions of others, their choices, their envy, their hidden poison, you hold absolute sovereignty over your own spirit. Their action was the event, your reaction is the story. And you have chosen a story of empowerment. This sovereignty is your new throne. From it, you decree the laws of your own inner kingdom. You decide what enters your peace. You judge what deserves your energy. You command the boundaries that protect your heart. No one gets to vote in this kingdom without your explicit invitation. This isn't about building a fortress to hide in, it's about raising a standard so high that only those who respect it will approach. You realize that the ultimate power was never in preventing the blow, it was in mastering your recovery. Anyone can be lucky. Anyone can navigate a life so safe they never get hit. But that is not strength, that is fragility waiting to be exposed. True strength, the kind that is unassailable, is forged in the fire of recovery. It is the knowledge, seared into your soul, that you can be knocked down, betrayed, broken open, and yet, you possess the blueprint to put yourself back together. You have transformed the poison into medicine. The bitterness that could have hardened your heart has been distilled into a potent vaccine against future deceit. The paranoia that could have taken root has been alchemized into discerning wisdom. The lesson, once learned, has become a shield, lightweight and strong, that you carry without effort. The very vulnerability they weaponized has become your greatest source of discernment. They took your open heart and tried to use it as a weakness to exploit. But in your healing, you have performed a great reversal. You now understand that the capacity to be vulnerable is the prerequisite for true strength. It is the gateway to genuine connection. The difference is, you are no longer vulnerable with everyone. You are vulnerable with the right ones. Your openness is no longer a default setting, it is a conscious choice, a gift offered only to those who have proven themselves worthy of holding it. Your past vulnerability is what now allows you to be selectively and powerfully vulnerable, the highest form of emotional intelligence. You now walk through the world with a quiet, unshakable confidence. This is not the loud, chest-thumping confidence of ego. It is a deep, internal knowing. It is the confidence of a master craftsman who knows their tools, or a seasoned captain who knows their ship can weather a storm. You know yourself. You know your worth is not on the table for negotiation. You engage with openness, because you are no longer afraid of being hurt. You know you can handle it. Your trust is no longer a door left unlocked for anyone to enter. It is a sacred space, and you are the gatekeeper. You stand at the threshold with calm authority. You welcome warmth, but you recognize the cold. You celebrate genuine connection, but you are no longer blinded by its imitation. You can enjoy the sunshine without denying the existence of rain. This is your rebirth. Not into something harder, but into something wiser. The world may try to tell you that becoming hard is the answer to pain. But hardness is brittle. It cracks under pressure. Wisdom is flexible, resilient, and adaptive. It knows when to bend and when to stand firm. You have not lost your softness, you have simply placed it within a structure of strength. You are not more cynical, you are more clear-eyed. Cynicism assumes the worst in everyone. Clarity sees people exactly as they are, in all their complex potential for both light and darkness, and chooses where to invest based on that clear vision. Your heart is not smaller, it is more protected. A heart that loves indiscriminately is not more pure, it is often more naive. A heart that loves with discernment is a heart that has learned its own value. It has a filtration system. It lets in love, kindness, and respect. It filters out manipulation, envy, and toxicity. Your light is not dimmed, it is now focused on those who deserve its warmth. You are no longer a street lamp, shining equally for friends and snakes alike. You are a lighthouse, a beacon of focused, powerful light that guides true allies to your shore and illuminates the rocks for those who mean you harm. The chapter of their betrayal is closed. You have read it. You have wept over it. You have analyzed its plot twists and its villain. But now, you gently close the book. You place it on the shelf of your history. It is a part of your library, but it is not the book you are currently reading, and it is certainly not the one you are writing. You are no longer the protagonist of that story. The ink is dry. The story of your liberation, however, is forever. It is a living, breathing, ongoing epic that you author with every choice, every boundary, every moment of chosen peace. You are the phoenix, not the ashes. The phoenix does not deny the fire, it embraces it as the necessary catalyst for its transformation. It understands that the ashes are not its identity, they are simply the fuel for its glorious rebirth. You are not defined by what was done to you. You are defined by who you chose to become in response. You are the guardian, not the victim. The victim asks, "Why did this happen to me?" The guardian declares, "This happened, and now I will decide what I do with it." You have taken ownership of the narrative. You have taken the knife they meant for your back and, in an act of profound alchemy, reforged it in the fires of your own spirit. You have melted down their weapon of destruction and recast it into a compass. This compass does not point toward revenge or bitterness. It points unerringly toward truer allies, whose character shines with integrity. It points toward deeper respect, for yourself and from others. It points toward a peace that is entirely your own, a peace that is not dependent on external circumstances, but is built on the unshakable foundation of your own self-worth and sovereignty. This is the end of the old world. And the beginning of everything.